now that we sort of talked a lot about the Jags, I'm curious, just post-draft, how are you thinking the AFC South shakes out?
Well, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I'm not a huge fan of Matt Ryan. Don't think Matt Ryan's that impressive.
How dare you? How dare
you? But look, that offensive line's good. Jonathan Taylor's good. Defense is getting better. I think it's still the Titans division for now, but it's not a strong division. It's really not, and mainly because you can point to the quarterbacks. You're looking at Matt Ryan, Ryan Tannehill, Davis Mills, and Trevor Lawrence. I mean, that's not a strong group when you look around the rest of the league, like the AFC West or something like that, right? So, I mean, it's again, their running game, and they're going to have to, hopefully play defense. Look, the Colts didn't make the playoffs last year. So, I mean, you're looking at, thanks to the Jags, they beat them in the final week of the season.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's still the Titans division. Say what you want about Vrabel. He's a good coach. I mean, he takes that, kind of oddball team and turns it into wins. On paper, it shouldn't be that, but you look up at the end of the year and you're like, how are the Titans the 2 seed? How did that happen? Or the 1 seed? I don't know. I trust more in Vrabel than I do the team. So that's why I lean toward the Titans, as much as it pains me to say that. But I don't think the reign will last long until they get an upgraded, quarterback. Tannehill is what he is. I'm not a big fan of Malik Willis. I bet on Liberty the first 4 games of the year, and I just watched this bum just not carry his team at all. And I was okay, there's no way this guy gets drafted in the first rounds. And lo and behold, he does not get drafted in the first round. His measurables are good, but his tape is bad. That's the bottom line.
So it's funny you say that. That's something I'd like to cover a little later on as we get closer to the season. Some of these guys who burn us with bets and how our interpretation of them is colored forever. I remember Josh Rosen in college. I bet on Josh Rosen to beat, I think it was Texas A&M, and they were up so much at halftime, and they had the single biggest blown lead at the time, and Josh Rosen just sucked, and I hated him forever after that. And I remember that after the draft, I just could not bet on him in the NFL, no matter what. Fortunately, that saved me a lot of money because he was horrible in the NFL. Right. But it's one of those things where some of these guys, I had a similar experience with Malik Willis earlier this year, where I'm a Steelers fan, so we were really hyping him up as a possible replacement for Big Ben. And I watched his game and I bet on him against Ole Miss. And good God, that was ooh. Watching him just suck up and down the field was brutal. He had 2 interceptions, couldn't complete a pass. And I was like, people are going to bet on this guy to be the first quarterback taken. And even as we drew closer to the draft, I couldn't talk myself into it. I could not get there purely because I was just burnt from prior experience.
Hey, we all have teams like that. In every sport, we all have teams that we won't touch. I will not touch the Coyotes in hockey. I will not touch the 76ers in basketball, just because I'm done. I'm not. If you fool me 5 times, shame on me. Malik Willis is the same way. We'll not touch Malik Willis.